Hey guys, what's up and welcome back to my channel. So today we are going to be talking about Chrissy Teigen once more. I actually really didn't expect to be talking about her again so soon, considering I talked about her about a week ago or so, and I'll link that video down below. But basically, Chrissy Teigen was outed as quite a bully, and especially towards Courtney Stodden. Now, if you don't know about that whole situation, I'll link the video, but if you want the basic gist of all of that, was that Chrissy Teigen was taking it upon herself to send really harassy and bullying tweets to Courtney Stodden, who at the time was a minor, who had married a vastly older man, and who was basically in a predatory, I don't want to say relationship, because relationship makes it seem consensual, but basically he preyed on her and they ended up getting married, and Chrissy Teigen thought it was appropriate to critique her, the minor, as opposed to the creepy man. That caused massive media backlash towards Chrissy Teigen, also because people started to look into her tweets and see that there was a bit of a pattern of her not only being rude or unnecessarily mean, but actually just bullying people straight up. And that leads into today's topic, because someone else has come out to talk about their experience with Chrissy Teigen again in relation to bullying. Though I think this time, I'm not going to say it's worse, but this time it really is just very encapsulating of the type of mentality Chrissy Teigen had back then. At least I hope it was only back then, and things have changed now. Before we get into that, I did want to thank today's sponsor, which is Shudder. Shudder is the Netflix of horror. It has the largest, fastest growing, human-curated selection of thrilling and dangerous entertainment filled with supernatural terrors, edge-of-your-seat thrillers, and shocking horrors added each week. You can stream all of the above for $5.99 a month or $56.99 a year, and on all of your favorite devices such as Amazon Fire TV, Roku, Xbox One, iOS, and Android. To try Shudder for free for 30 days, go to shudder.com and use promo code READYTOGLARE. Shudder actually recently announced its Summer of Chills lineup, featuring a new and exclusive premiere every week, including films such as horror master George Romero's lost film titled Amusement Park, that has been found and restored in 4K after being unseen for nearly 40 years. I'm particularly excited because Shudder added one of my favorite horror movies of all time that's called The Conspiracy. It's a movie about two filmmakers who, as the title indicates, look into a particular conspiracy theory, and it gets dark really fast and it gets more serious than they ever thought. Highly recommend it. I think I've watched it 40 times. I'm so excited it's on Shudder now. Get started streaming the best horror, thriller, and supernatural content. Shudder's expertly curated collections include must-see titles like Color Out of Space, Host, The Mortuary Collection, plus the best horror documentaries and the hit Creepshow TV series from executive producer Greg Nicotero of The Walking Dead. To try Shudder for free for 30 days, go to shudder.com and use promo code READYTOGLARE. Thank you to Shudder for sponsoring this video. So let's get into everything that happened. It's a little bit messy, so I'm going to try and keep this as organized as possible. So this particular story comes from Michael Costello. Now, Michael Costello is a fashion designer who was on Project Runway Season 8 and then Project Runway All-Stars. He's made gowns for celebrities, incredibly talented. Michael Costello has come out with his experience with Chrissy Teigen back in 2014. He posted some of it on his Instagram, but before I go into what he said about his experience, I want to say what led up to Chrissy Teigen bullying him. So Chrissy Teigen basically publicly accused him of being a racist and then worked to hurt him professionally. Like I said, what started in online in late 2014 spilled over into his real life, which is going to be the Instagram posts we read in a second, and it had him effectively considering suicide. So what exactly happened? He made this dress for Beyonce for the Grammys in 2014, and this was obviously a big deal because it's Beyonce, it's a celebrity. It was a massive deal altogether. So drama occurred, and this was a little bit confusing, but basically Costello's co-designer posted on Costello's account a dress that was made by another person that was kind of similar to the dress that Beyonce was wearing. After the allegations of copying were made, there was a screenshot of a racist comment that was attributed to Costello, and that started circulating very quickly. If you're dressing a celebrity, nonetheless Beyonce, and then it comes out that you allegedly make a racist comment, of course that's going to circulate. And the comment allegedly said, "You're just probably a dumb N-word defending her. I am royalty, bitch. I dressed Beyonce. Who are they gonna believe?" So Michael Costello went on to make a Tumblr post to explain everything that was going on. And in this Tumblr post, I'll put it on the screen and you can pause to read in a second. But basically he said that this comment was photoshopped and that he would never say something along those lines and that it was fake. Basically, that's the whole gist. I'll put that here, pause to read. I do want to focus though on one part at the end where it says, "At this time, we have reason to believe the fake image was edited and circulated by a disgruntled intern who is no longer employed at Michael Costello. Once the individual is fully identified, we intend to pursue legal action. Thank you." So as far as I have found, there was never a specific person really outed for doing that. So I don't know if they took legal action behind the scenes and, you know, it's just not being publicized who it is, who it was, who it may have been. I don't know what the consensus is there. Michael Costello just recently posted explaining his experience with Chrissy Teigen in regards to the racist comment he allegedly made, though he said it was faked. "I didn't want to do this, but I can't not be happy until I speak my mind. I need to heal. In order for me to do that, I must reveal what I've been going through. I wanted to kill myself and I still am traumatized, depressed, and have thoughts of suicide." So for the next few slides, I'm just going to post them because they are detailing his experience, and I think that's important to read, but I want to specifically read out loud what Chrissy Teigen said to him in the DMs. So pause to read. So at the time, he wanted to clear things up with Chrissy Teigen, who obviously had tweeted at him and made everything worse, as always. And he said, "Chrissy, can I call you?" She said, "No, I do not have anything to say to you. You will get what's coming to you. Chrissy, I've never called anyone the N-word. Those fake images were photoshopped from a former disgruntled employee. Good luck with that, LMAO. Hope that story keeps your already dead career going." Then he said, "Please call me. I'm suffering from this more than you can imagine. So many people are attacking me over this. It's a fake story, but your comment is adding more fuel to the fire. Good. Racist people like you deserve to suffer and die. You might as well be dead. Your career is over. Just watch." The part where she said you might as well be dead and people like you deserve to die is what shocked the internet, considering that she didn't even hear him out on whether his allegedly racist comment was real or not, but there we go. This situation has continued to evolve. As of an hour ago on Thursday, as in the night before I post this video, it now appears that these screenshots may have been doctored. Here are inconsistencies found via a Business Insider article written by Kat Tenbarge. I'll post said inconsistencies in the so-called DM screenshots now. Pause to read. This week, Chrissy went on to make a relatively lengthy Medium post where she apologized generally to the people that she hurt. She did say that she was reaching out privately. I'll put a screen recording here if you want to read the whole post because it's rather lengthy, but I did take a couple of pieces that I wanted to highlight that I think are particularly important from her post. So she said, "I've apologized publicly to one person," which would be Courtney Stodden, "but there are others, and more than just a few, who I need to say I'm sorry to. I'm in the process of privately reaching out to the people I insulted," which is great. I'm glad she's doing that, though we'll have no proof that she's actually doing that. But again, if she is, great. Then she said, "In reality, I was insecure, immature, and in a world where I thought I needed to impress strangers to be accepted. If there was a pop culture pylon, I took to Twitter to try and gain attention and show off what I at the time believed was crude, clever, harmless quip. I thought it made me cool and relatable if I poked fun at celebrities." I don't want to be overly pessimistic here, though it's difficult for me, but I don't think that much has changed. I don't think, as I don't follow her as closely as other people, but I do think that she has relatively continued to make these snarky remarks, and granted, some may be deserved, you know, like if someone's a pedophile or something like that, maybe the snarky remark has a place there, maybe. But I don't see all this massive change. But again, who knows if she really has, and maybe this is a less bad version of what she used to be. She said, "The truth is, I'm no longer the person who wrote those horrible things. I grew up, got therapy, got married, had kids, got more therapy, experienced loss and pain, got more therapy and experienced more life, and got more therapy." There's no way we can tell if she's that much of a better person. Well, I mean, we can judge the recent past, I suppose, but considering she made this apology on Monday, we can only really see what happens from here on out, and then from there judge. You know, everyone can make their own opinions and decide what they think. I do think, though, having this kind of track record of bullying people or harassing people online is concerning, especially because, you know, it's always the same conversation. I think the age conversation comes into it of like, it's a different situation if you are a bully when you're 13 and you're being stupid online, as opposed to when you're in your 20s or older. It's just different. So I hope the therapy worked. I definitely know that therapy can change people. That's all I really have to say here. But it is deeply disturbing that she did feel comfortable to send those types of things to people, like to wish death on people, basically. I don't understand where she was coming from with a lot of that. Like, all of it was so unnecessary in the first place. Okay, so since I filmed and edited this video, a couple of new things have come out, so I did just want to give you the updates. So one of those updates is that Leona Lewis, who is a British singer and songwriter, she's best known for her hit song Bleeding Heart that came out quite a few years ago. Well, she actually responded to Michael Costello responding to Chrissy Teigen, because apparently there was an instance where he made her feel bullied and body shamed. She went on lengthy Instagram stories writing down exactly what happened, but I'm going to boil it down to the most important parts since we have quite a few things to get through. So she was going to a fitting because she was going to work with Michael Costello for, I believe it was a charity event, and she said, "When I got to my fitting, I was made to feel very awkward and uncomfortable as the dress was a sample size and he/his team clearly did not want to alter it to fit me," she wrote. "This came as a total surprise because weeks prior I was told that they would make the dress work for me. At the next fitting, the night before the show, with no explanation at all, Michael refused to turn up. He no longer wanted to dress me, and he abandoned his commitments to me and the show, which made me well aware that I wasn't the body type required." She had this negative experience with Michael Costello, and Michael Costello responded saying, "Unfortunately, none of the red options, because that's the color dress she was supposed to wear, worked out for Leona. There was no way for me to make her an alternative option, as I was and still am based in Los Angeles." Costello said, "If we had known the event more than 7 days in advance, which is the time frame we had, we could have made something custom for Leona without a doubt." He added, "It was nothing personal towards Leona. The plan simply did not work out the way we intended. I've always offered to make something custom and special just for her. I'm always here for her." And then he posted on his Instagram stories saying, "I still love Leona Lewis and not sure what happened between the middlemen or what happened in translation. Love you, Leona. And then I don't know if he apologized to her in private or this was his apology, but Leona Lewis went on her Instagram and posted, I love you guys so much for the support you've shown. There are always two sides to every story, and that's clear here, but I choose forgiveness. Michael, thank you for your apology. I wish you healing and that you feel better. For now, today is a new day. Spread love. So that seems like a good case closed where, I mean, who knows what actually happened, if things were lost in translation or, you know, what really the truth is, but at least there is a good ending there for Leona and for Michael too, because I'm sure that gives him some kind of mental peace. The other update is less positive because Here for the Tea had been posting about everything that had been happening with Michael Costello, Chrissy Teigen, so on and so forth. But she posted saying, so as you guys may recall, I posted this story about celebrity Michael Costello calling out Chrissy Teigen yesterday. I archived the post after I was made aware of an incident that occurred between Michael and someone I know. Although I empathize with Michael's mental health issues, and I don't condone telling people to kill themselves, I couldn't keep the post up knowing what I know, and it's not my story to tell. Then Here for the Tea adds, yesterday, after I archived my post, another designer came forward to share their experience with Michael, who allegedly used the N-word in their presence, and this isn't the only person that Michael has a history of using that slur. So obviously, knowing this new information, obviously you have to come to your own conclusions. I believe more people will be taking the fake screenshot situation with a larger grain of salt than they maybe would have before. But that's the situation as of now. So you guys can let me know in the comments what you think. Thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you to my patrons as always. Let's get right into the